I mean, in South Africa, we have a concept of E-rate, but our view is that schools should be zero rated in the context of connectivity. And
with regards to the question on infrastructure, I'm going to look at it from a purely South African aspect because I'm South African. And we've discussed infrastructure, and I believe to a large degree that infrastructure is there.
Our type of technologies, and that can be applied to all vendors or all other types of similar ERP type systems. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Again, what I'm talking about is not really best practice, but it's an initiative of the Ministry of Information and Communication. It's called the Digital Villages Initiative. In Kenya, we have 210 constituencies, 210 elected members of parliament.
Do you feel that the contacts that you've made during the forum will be of use to you in terms of your future work now in Namibia?
Of course, the British publishers, I must thank them. I must thank them from the very beginning. I must thank them for initiating this roundtable discussions. And we need more of this, colleagues. It's not a secret. We need more of this. Come and help us wherever you can help us so that we can move our country forward. And like I said in my statement, you came at a very important time.
I found it very useful. I think given that it had brought private sector, public sector as well as civil society, it really brought every other stakeholder that we were expected to be here. So it was quite useful.
Now we cover, and in terms of your future work now with SAT in the region, how do you think this forum will be of assistance for you?
I think this forum will be very good. You know, it's a good platform to get a different perspective outside of Southern Africa, and I think that's been a lot of that's been missing. And I think some of the people who said about it said, you know, everything is in Africa, Southern Africa. You know, what about the other countries? So I've been busy with a couple of initiatives around that, like statistics in Africa. So I'm quite interested in seeing how ICT develops and how we actually make information accessible to ordinary citizens.
Excellent. And will the contacts that you've made here at the forum be useful for you in the future?
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Absolutely, definitely.
Okay. Firstly, Doctor, thank you very much for your involvement. Some excellent contributions. Was the forum useful for you?
Yes, I think for us it was. For me personally, it was useful because for the first time, as I was talking about transforming policies to implementation, for the first time it's been under one roof. We've had the implementers and the solution providers together. So for us now, which means for some of our African countries, we know where the solution implementers are. So which means we can easily direct our countries to the implementers of some of the useful e-government or sectoral solutions. So they have already taken several cards for different people who will actually be. It's been really worth it. I think it's one of the first I've attended where I really felt I really benefited in terms of contacts. You know.
And do you feel that the contacts that you've made during the forum will be useful for you in terms of your work back in Kenya with the ministry?
Yes, I've talked to the gentleman from the Economic Commission for Africa. I've also made some contact with the State Information Technology Agency of South Africa. I talked to the lecturer from the University of Botswana. So these are very useful, and I hope that I'll be able to continue the contact with them in future.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much for your participation.
Thanks.
Thanks, Dennis. Was the forum useful for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the good thing is you get a lot of viewpoints from the other panelists, things that's happening in Africa. I think being down in the bottom of Africa and not getting to the north, you know, it opens some of the issues. So absolutely, you know, and the networking is also good. I just heard a comment now from one of the gentlemen that says, you know, it's the first forum he's been on where they've actually got suppliers and the policymakers in the same forum, because there's a lot of times that people say, yeah, we make the policies, but we're looking for the solution providers that can actually help us execute that.
So in that sense, in terms of future contacts that you've established now for your work in Africa, do you feel that the forum will be of use for you?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we've been endeavouring in Africa already, you know, but the good thing is, like you say, we make good friends here, and it just gives us more opportunities.
And in terms of the contacts that you've made at the forum, will they be useful for you in terms of your future work now in Africa?
Yeah, 100%. You know, I think the good thing about this forum is it attracts a lot of key people and a lot of key decision makers, and I believe that post follow-up with the guys after the conference will definitely go a long way in, if not necessarily generating direct contacts, there will definitely be people that can point us in the right direction with regards to the way things operate.
Do you feel that the contacts that you've made during the forum will be of use to you in terms of your future work now in Africa?
Definitely. I think a couple of the key contacts, from the government perspective, the right kind of audience. We take the gentleman, Dr. Siso, I think his name was, very open to conversations to understand what private sector can offer to the different government areas.